It's a long Saturday for all of you, and I appreciate you being here after you spent this first week getting staff adjusted after the holiday break with all of our children. Thank you. And I think that's it. So I think we'll begin our meeting. Is there any objections from the board to accepting the agenda for our organizational meeting? And I think we have to vote. Seeing none, we'll approve the agenda and we'll get started. Our first and really main item of business is election of officers, moving in the election of president. So on the election of president, voting will occur for one at a time. And I'm clearly very not awake this morning, so I'm not my script here. So members of the Board of Education, I'm calling on nomination and election of president. Please note that an individual may nominate themselves. No second is required for nominations, and there is no limit on the number of nominations for each office. So, I'd like to nominate Michelle.
Or I raise my hand first.
I'm sorry, I thought our hand first just now, as I was explaining the process. Andrew.
So I go first?
No, I'm asking you have a nomination. You have a nomination.
Nomination for
Okay. Who's your nomination?
nominee Michelle Patel.
Okay. Thank you. I have a nomination. All right. So I recognize Michelle Patel, that you nominated as president. If elected by the majority, do you agree to this role? So I will know that Michelle gave his nomination for president, and the election voting will occur for one at a time, and we have one nominated. So will all those in favor of Michelle as president, please say aye. Aye. And I know that is 7. Opposed 0, and that is 7-0 vote. Congratulations, Michelle, on your election as president of the board. I am handing it over to you, and you will now preside over the meeting of our annual meeting. Thank you. I am honored for well as well as our community. I am sure that there will be many errors that I make along the way, but I will be focused on serving my students, my staff. So thank you. So moving on, nominations are now in order for the office of vice president. Do I have any nominations for vice president? Jessica? I nominate Barbara.
I nominate Carol.
All right, I have Barb Annis and Carol Beth as nominees for vice president. Are there any other nominations for you? I have a nomination. I nominate Kristen Ball. Okay, at this point, I have Barb Annis, Carol Beth, and Kristen Knoll as nominees for vice president. Is there any objection to closing nominations? Okay, hearing none, nominations are closed. So on the election of vice president, may I have a motion? So I need someone, I have Barb, I need a second. I got Jessica. There are 3 individuals nominated for the office of vice president. Voting will occur one at a time in the order in which the names were nominated. The first name receiving 4 votes is elected to the office. Will all those, did I ask you agree to serve in this role? Barb, Carol, and Kristen, if elected by the majority? Yes, with all due respect, I appreciate your nomination very much. I am super ready to hand this over to someone else, so I do appreciate the nomination. So I don't mind. Okay, so at this point, we have two individuals, three have been nominated, two who are going to serve as vice president. We will start with Barb Annis. So we'll all vote in favor of Barb Annis as vice president. And in this case, I'm going to ask you to please raise your hand so I can count who is in favor of Barb Annis as vice president.
Oh.
Okay, I have 5 in favor, that was me, 2 opposed.
That's correct.
Correct.
A lot of people out here are opposed.
So at this point then, Barb Annis, you are elected as president.
Oh.
I'm sorry, as vice president. Thank you. See, that was the first error. All right, now we are moving on to the election of treasurer. Nominations are now in order for the office of treasurer. Do we have any nominations? Carol Beth?
May I offer an explanation for my nominations?
Yeah, give the name and then,
I nominate Andrew Weaver for treasurer. Andrew's got a background in lean manufacturing, the data workers guy. He's got the energy and the courage to ask people about questions, and I believe he will bring balance to this year's committee. During the school board campaign and academically, he is a strong, passionate advocate for transparency and accountability. And I think this is giving him a really great chance to demonstrate his principles. I think it would show a clear step forward for all of us, the board, working together as a team, rather than excluding other points of view. And honestly, there's a large portion of our constituents who are looking for more oversight from the board, who have questions and concerns, and they trust them. And I think it will help bring our community together and unite us and bring all those people when it comes to consensus elections.
all right, and are there any other nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Kristen Moore.
Are there any others at this time? Andrew Weaver and Kristen Bolt, you agree to serve in this role if elected by the majority?
I do.
Thank you. On the election of treasurer, may I have a motion? Jessica, and a second by Barb. There are 2 individuals nominated for the office of treasurer. Voting will occur one at a time in the order in which the names were nominated. The first name to receive 4 votes is elected to the office. Will all those in favor of Andrew Weaver as treasurer please say aye?
Aye.
I have 2 votes. Will those opposed please say nay?
Nay. Nay.
5. We now move on to Andrew Weaver is not elected. We will now move on to Kristen Bolt. Will all those in favor of Kristen Bolt as treasurer please say aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
We have 5 votes in favor and 2 votes opposed. Kristen Bolt is elected as treasurer. Congratulations, Kristen. You are now treasurer. Our last election is for secretary. Nominations are now in order for the office of secretary. Do I have any nominations?
I would nomination.
Are there any others? Andrew?
I nominate Carol
Okay, are there any others? Is there any objection to closing nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. Jessica Gupta and Carol Beth, do you agree to serve in this role if elected by the majority? On the election of secretary, may I have a motion, please? Griffin. There are 2 individuals nominated for the office of secretary. Voting will occur one at a time in the order in which the names were nominated. The first name to receive 4 votes is elected to the office. Will all those in favor of Jessica Gupta as secretary please say aye?
Aye.
5 votes opposed.
Beth.
2. There were 5 votes in favor and 2 votes opposed. Jessica Gupta is elected as secretary. Congratulations, Jessica, you have been elected. every year we read our code of cooperation for conduct among board members and code of cooperation for conduct with administrators. I will ask Jessica, our new elected secretary, to please read those for us. One 139.5 Code of Cooperation for Conduct among board members. Number 1, board members will share information and concerns with one another. Number 2, board members will respect one another and members of the community and value other opinions. Number 3, board members will be honest when expressing either their own opinions or those of community members. Number 4, board members are encouraged to offer solutions when they have concerns. Number 5, disagreements among board members will be handled through frank, open, and respectful discussion. Number 6, individual board members have a responsibility to articulate the board's stance to the community. If board members express opinions outside the board meeting, it must be clear that they are expressing their personal opinions and not the opinion of the Board of Education. Number 7, board deliberations and decisions will take place in the open meeting as required by the Open Meetings Act. Number 8, the board president will be the spokesperson for the board. The Code of Cooperation for Conduct among board members will be read aloud by the Board of Education Secretary in January of each year. At that time, Board of Education members will be asked to sign the document by the president. Code of Cooperation for Board Conduct with Administrators. Number 1, the board will respect the administration and value other opinions. Number 2, the board, not individual board members, will direct the superintendent and/or his or her representatives and other district employees. Number 3, the board will share information and concerns with the administration. Number 4, questions from board members will first be directed to the superintendent, assistant superintendent for business, and/or assistant superintendent for curriculum. When emailing questions or comments to the assistant superintendent, board members will copy the superintendent in their email. Number 5, when the board raises a topic for discussion, the administration will determine which staff will be responsible for response and will set a reasonable time frame. Number 6, disagreements with the administration will be handled through frank, open, and respectful discussion. Number 7, the board will concern itself with determining policies and rely on the administration to implement policies, including through the development of regulations. Number 8, the board members will work through administrative channels. The Code of Cooperation for Board Conduct of Administrators will be read aloud by the Board of Education Secretary in January of each school year. At that time, Board of Education members will be asked to sign the document by the president. Thank you, Jessica. These are norms that we have had in our handbook for the board bylaws, and as a ceremonial act, we just ask that all board members sign these to recognize that we have a procedure or process for handling questions and responding to different things. So at this point, I will start here.
Madam President, can I make a comment?
Yes.
So I do want to get on record that this topic was brought up in a conversation that you and I had with Mr. Wolf. I was asked to review them. We didn't to the extent that we wanted these to be signed. It was expressed that there might be concerns I would have, and so I was asked to review them for feedback on why might I potentially not sign them. I provided that feedback at December 6th. I brought up that they were extremely vague. There was a lot of subjectivity to them, that ultimately they could be used to be weaponized. And with the recent news of the threat from our superintendent, these were cited in them. And so at this point, I will make it clear I will not sign these.
Madam President, I just signed these.
We are now moving on to our next agenda item, which is the appointment of our Annas to the Oakland County School Board Association Government Relations Committee. The Oakland County School Board Association, is comprised of all school districts within Oakland County. And they have specifically asked for, someone to be appointed from every district. So at this point, I would like a motion to appoint Barb Anna to the Oakland County School Board Association Government Relations Committee. Do I have a motion? Kristen, do I have a second? Jessica. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of appointing Barb to the Oakland County School Board Association Government Relations Committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, that's a 7-0 vote. Number 6, approval of board committees, organizations, and groups for board assignments. In the packet originally, there were 12 committees, groups, and organizations that were listed. And Weaver had pointed out that I had not included 3 of our superintendent's committees, so we will add those to our list. The Superintendent's Policy and Curriculum Committee, which is made up of the VP plus 2 other representatives from our board. The Superintendent's Business and Operations Committee, which is comprised of the treasurer and 2 representatives that are appointed by our appointed from our board. And the Superintendent's Steering Committee, which is made up of the president, vice president, and the treasurer. So we have 15, a list of 15 organizations, committees, and groups that the president assigns. So I need and the reason we're updating this or specifically listing this is that our handbook is out of date, and so we wanted to have all of these listed and focus on for transparency. So do I have a motion to approve these 15 committees, organizations, and groups? Barb, do I have a second? Kristen? Is there any discussion?
So I did have a question. How do we decide on these 12? What is the process we follow to decide these 12 committees outside of the 3 that we're adding?
It is a board discussion, and at one point, obviously they voted on the handbook. Along the way, we have added other committees that we felt, groups or organizations that we felt would be valuable to be a part of. And so that's been a determined decision. And so with this, along with when we update our handbook, it would be, kind of more formalized.
So when we update the handbook, these 12 names could change.
These 15 would be the ones that I would put in there.
So I guess, but you just said that they were voted on at some point, so I guess I'm asking, when would that vote be, so for us to have the potential to change these 12 names?
I would say, I'm not sure I'm understanding your question. So right now, we are voting on these 15.
Correct.
And then, if we wanted to, if someone wanted to add another group organization, then it would come before and we would discuss it together.
So that's what I'm asking is, what's the process when we do that? When do we decide 12 or 15 names? I understood your answer, and I appreciate it, that it would be at some point when we read the handbook, that's when we would do that. So that's what I'm asking.
Right, like if the organizational meeting was supposed to be reviewed. So that's what this is.
Right.
But it's a living document, so it could be added or changed at any point.
So then, at a future work session, can we go through all 12 of these so that for our community, we understand what these groups are, what they do, why we work with them, what value they add to the district, and then we can decide as a board when we keep them on the list?
If there is a will by the board to have that discussion and go through all of that, then we can do something.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, was there any comment from the public? All right, hearing none, can you please step forward or stand up there?
Yeah.
Oh, there is a microphone right behind, so that you can pick up.
Let me go to the microphone.
My name is Stephanie Van Dale, and I am a taxpayer. And I think in the interest of transparency and accountability, the discussion of who these groups are needs to take place in public. Because
I don't know who is influencing you guys. And looking at those 15 groups, I don't know how I can get on one of those groups. And I'd like to be part of it. So could you please have this frank and open discussion in public? Thank you. I appreciate your patience. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mrs. Van Dam. All of those,
Madam President, just wanted to ask for clarification. So this is our organizational meeting, this is the point in time we discuss it. And is this the proper time when we ought to be having that discussion? And deciding which groups are included?
well, this is the list at this point. There's a motion on the floor to discuss these 15. So if at this point you want to, you can vote against this list. You can state your opinion on something on this list. You can do that at this point.
Madam President, I would like to call questions.
Okay, you guys are testing me already.
So we need to know, if you call the question, we need to know exactly what we're voting on. So are we opposed, so we're voting yes right now, that we are saying we approve of these 12 committees?
15.
15 now. Is that what the question is? We need to know what we're voting on.
Yes, we're voting on the 15, the list of committees.
Madam President, I respectfully request that we table this decision and vote.
Okay, first we have all the questions on the table. Hold on, I'm looking in my notes to see if you need a second for that. I know we need a 2/3 vote. Okay. I will ask, that they give you a hearing. Do I need a second on calling the question?
Yes, you do.
Okay, can I have, Barb seconded, I believe I need a 2/3 vote on this, so, can I, Steph, I'm gonna ask you to, do I first have to vote on calling the question?
Correct.
Yes, so I need a 2/3 vote to call the question. So all those in favor of calling the question, please say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, can I see the hands with that? I have 5, opposed? 2. We have 5-2, so we will call the question at this point. All those in favor of the 15 committees, organizations, and groups that have been identified, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 2. We have a 5-2 vote.
No public comment.
Madam President, it's hard for me to vote on something like this, because we don't know what they are or what they do, so I just wanted to explain why I had my no vote.
Okay, moving on at this point. There's somebody at the microphone.
Public comment.
I'm sorry, public comment on this is already asked, so at this point,
She was already standing there.
at this point, we're moving on to number 7, board handbook approval of public comment in just one moment. For the board handbook, all this was an informational item that the handbook does need to be reviewed. I will be sending that out to each board member. I have made some suggested changes for you to look at, and hopefully we'll be able to either vote on that at our February meetings or our March meetings, depending on how many changes in that community. So at this point, we will move on to public comment. Citizens requesting placement on the agenda. We have one person. We have Caroline, who is listed as for placement on the agenda. Is she here?
I'm Caroline, I'm an English and history teacher here at Stony Creek. I have a plan for what I wanted to say, but given me that in the last week, so I was kind of a little plan. Next week will be my last weekend of Kevin RCS play. For 25 years, I have taught and learned and grown as a teacher and human being alongside the smartest, most compassionate, funniest educators. It's been a wild ride and a privilege. How can I possibly explain what this place and these people have meant to me? How can I express the joy and the heartbreak, the jubilation and frustration?
thrilled watching a student blossom and the devastation when we lose one. How can I convey how horrifying it is to see my colleagues being used in a never-ending national political online? So the best I can do is give you some advice. Be brave enough to say what needs to be said, but also to apologize when you get it wrong and hurt people. My favorite line from the new movie, The Glass Onion, is, "It's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth." Talk to your staff, not just your administrators or an award ceremony, or not through that mass email or social media. As teachers, we have to build relationships with our students to earn their trust, and do the same with your staff. Teaching can be done by 1,000 cuts. As trustees, you see the shiny stuff or the scary stuff and some of the blown stuff. But your staff feeds you to see that. You need to know what's happening and work to make the job better, maybe even make it joyful. A teacher's working conditions are students' learning conditions. And what else are you here for if not for them? Trust your people. RCS hires all of these incredibly intelligent and highly competent people and then handcuffs them with micromanaging and layers of paperwork. Let people do what you hired them to do. Let them make decisions based on their expertise. Believe that they will do the right thing for their students. Think about who's making the decisions that affect students and why. With all due respect to our hard work in finance, transportation, marketing, and PR folks, most never taught and should not be making all of the most important decisions for your students. Sometimes things are expensive, sometimes things are hard, but we can do hard things. If you're trying to find the right answers, you need to ask the right questions, even if they aren't exciting or controversial enough to make the news. For example, ask your teachers about the process for them to pay for food or reserve hours for club or sports activities, or ask why they have 38 kids in a high school class. Do you know what our parents and secretaries make? I have a lot of suggestions like this, but no, I'm not interested in being an anyone's anonymous source of their cost. Finally, you have to stop operating through fear. Fear of families pulling their students, fear of lawsuits, fear of parent anger, fear of the big security union, fear of losing the best loan rates. Fear is stifling. It keeps people from moving forward, being innovative, or even suggesting new ideas. It makes us reactive instead of proactive. We need to build trust and we need courage. In closing, I thought about translating how many students come to my classroom door over the years, but my husband was still asleep this morning when I realized this was in that. I know it's been fabulous, and it has been the honor of my life to have done, I think, some small part of their journey. Thank you for allowing me to do so. One last note, Dr. Sheena. You just remember what it means to be in the arena and that you aren't there alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. I'm sorry that you were leaving Rochester and the loss of all your next stage in life. The citizens requesting, I'm sorry, that was a citizen requesting placed on agenda. Citizens requesting that meeting. If you do have a comment, I know there was an individual who wanted to speak earlier. If you can fill out a yellow card, which I do have that they are. Someone basically, they're on the back table back here. When you go to the microphone, you can please state your name and can I see by raise of hand how many people are planning to make public comment? I see 3 back there. 4. Okay, we are running close here, so if we can have those 4 set the microphones so that we can get a comment, we'll try to get those in so we can not have them. Okay, so do I have someone who can set the microphone?
Alderman Russell Aaron in Rochester Community Schools. I've been an individual who has been mentioned several times on people's websites or whatever. I'm not there in Rochester, but some of us at the school here in Rochester. Very happy to go to school. My question is, which board members sign code of conduct? And also, does that, by not signing code of conduct, does that mean that people are held accountable for their actions on the field? That's all.
Can I have the next person step up?
Madam President, may I respond to that comment?
No, none of this time.
Hi, good morning. My name is John. I'm father of 2 parents in our middle school, 6th grader and 8th grader. I was chaperone on the November 16th field trip down to DSO. I'd like to provide some firsthand experience and relevancy to the courses that actually took place that day. So we had the opportunity to take the kids for a cultural enrichment opportunity to go down to Orchestra Hall. Right? First field trip in many years. After that, we went to the East Pizzeria with 150 individuals. Made it extremely difficult for 150 individuals to fit into the restaurant. Understand that the restaurant made the opportunity available to go upstairs to the lounge. That space was large, open. Yes, it did have holes in there, but it had plenty of available space, a professional atmosphere, professional customer service environment, and a safe environment for all our students. At no time were the children at risk. Was there ever a concern about their safety or the events that were going to be taking place there? The chaperones, yes, we were uncomfortable at first when we walked in, thinking, how do we make sure that we keep all of these kids in order? How do we keep them safe? And how do we return them back to school? That was the first and foremost thought on everybody's mind. It wasn't where we went or what the interpretations of that event were going to be for the people that day. So, it's an unfortunate situation when we have the misrepresentation, over-characterization of the location and the perspective of people that weren't even there, misstating things and causing a media stir that's not warranted. We've called into question people's accountability, people's professionalism, and that's uncalled for a situation that was appropriately addressed to provide an environment that was safe for people that day. So, without concern and unwavering support for the decisions of the school district, the teacher, and the chaperones that day, I don't know why we're questioning the concerns of how things were addressed. So please keep that in mind, because not only are we going to damage the personal relationships that we have with the individuals that went, the teachers in the school district, and we don't want to sacrifice future opportunities for those learning opportunities for our students in the community going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Burkett Bakers. I have a daughter at Adams. She's 16, and I asked her one big thing for her. That if you screw up, I want to hear about it from you. I don't want to hear it from your friends' moms. I don't want to hear it from some strange lady at the grocery store. I want to hear it from you when it happens.
Amen.
And from that, I want to know how you're not going to do it again, and what you're going to do if you're in that situation again. So that's all I think the majority of the parents were speaking out against that field trip are asking for. Mistakes happen. We all make them. We want to know from a principal, hey, you know what? We had this great field trip. Something bad happened. It kind of put a big cloud on it. This is what we're going to do to make sure it never happens again. You know what? We ended up in this environment. We shouldn't have won. We're not going to go there again. If, in fact, we end up in a similar environment, we're going to leave. We're going to eat on the bus. We're going to do 15 different things, but we're not going to do that again. We ask that of our 15-year-olds. I'm guessing those of you with elementary age kids say, hey, Johnny, how do you know you're not going to do that again? Think before you act. We just want secure information from the past. So that's my number one. My number two is, I think the letter that went to a board president back, Mr. Shaner, from you about December 21, suggesting that there was a way to keep board members in order. I haven't seen the letter. I would love to see the letter. More important than that, I want to know what comes in the letter. Because it sounds to me like we have new board members and a superintendent, who wants to keep them in line. And I don't know if that's accurate or not, but boy, it sounds like that. So I want to know what prompted it, what you're going to do about it.
right? Because as far as I know, board works for you. And I know I can't send my boss a note and say, hey, you better not, treat me badly, right? I keep you guys in mind, and I get it, that's my boss. So I hope I'm misunderstanding that, but I do hope that we get some very formal information sent out from you board members about that letter. Because it just seems like it was a big incorrect. Thank you.
Was there one more person who wanted to speak? Okay.
I don't know, do I get called up?
Go ahead, I didn't get the yellow card, so.
I'm doing all this, sorry. My name is Dawn Lynch. I put 3 kids in the food district, 1.5 life. Love this district. I've had amazing experiences with teachers. I cannot say enough about it. I'm up here speaking, I think, for a lot of parents who don't want to be up here to speak. I just want to clarify some things. I don't have to get answers because it's not the back and forth, but these are my general questions. I felt like when I was sitting there that you guys said that this was the time to discuss why these 15 committees are here, and that was the purpose of the organizational meeting. And then I thought Carol Beth asked to discuss them, and then I thought someone said, no, we're going to vote on it. So that brought a lot of confusion to me. So I'm just trying to clarify if I'm hearing things right. Because there was not a discussion, but there was a vote. So I was confused. Seeing all this stuff about NICUs, I just want to say, I still don't know how the school district feels about this. I went on the website personally, I saw pictures of women dancing on these poles very scantily clad. I would not classify it as a stripper, although I do think one person was naked. But I do understand that it wasn't acting as a club when the kids are there. My whole statement on the NICUs thing is that let's not deny that it's an adult entertainment club. Dr. Shannon came out with a letter that said, and decorations for poles. With all due respect, Dr. Shannon, you're losing a lot of credibility with that statement. And again, I would like to know how the district feels about this, or what the policy is, or are those 6th graders going back there again next year? I think a lot of parents want to know that. Okay, one of my things that, I've been blocked from trustee pages. I don't know why. This is the first time I've ever spoken in a meeting. Is that even legal? These are just questions I have as, I was just recently blocked from the RDA, and other comments are blocked from there. Is that okay? I don't know. And then I also wanted to point out that Carol, Beth, and Andrew are here trying to bring this community together. Carol nominated Andrew as a good faith gesture and appealed to you guys, and I'm just not seeing the efforts to bring the community together. And I think this is the time. We have an amazing community, so please, board, please try to work together. Thank you.
To adjourn the meeting. Barb, seconded by Kristen. All those in favor? I'm sorry. All those in.
I have comment.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it needs to. Had she turned her card in?
With all due respect, I think honoring our community would be the most important thing that we did. We cut a few minutes off the back end of the tree, and I think that's not honest.
Had she filled out a yellow card previously? Has a yellow card been filled out? Yes. Okay, please proceed.
Good morning. I am Lynette Teller. I am a long-standing media specialist at Meadowbrook Elementary, and I've been in media for 29 years. I just wanted to ask a few questions, or just one question. Why would someone Freedom of Information Act, our pay scales and things like that? I think that's very odd. I've even shown students who ask me how much I pay to go to the website, and it shows you exactly that. And it really confused me that some people here, as a media specialist, they love to run training on digital citizenship and digital literacy. People have their own Facebook pages, that's their personal property, so imagine certain these can block anyone, and also have no comment on their page. Lastly, I would just like to say that I think that we also need to learn from the Robert's Rules of Order and used for hundreds of years and then decided. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Barb, seconded by Kristen, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's a 7-0 vote. We are adjourned. We're going to take a few minutes to reorganize the room before our work session starts.
President, because that means 6 or I have to go.
Six.
So 6 or I have to be 6.
So we will, at this point, recess until we. Thank you.